how do we identify or prioritize whom to give, as there are many who are in need, especially during financial requirements?
Right. I think Paul is primarily speaking about identifying people that are truly in need. Okay. Now, Paul is doing that difficult job for the Corinthian church because he is discerning and finding out who the Corinthians should support as a church, the church in Jerusalem. And he knows that in Jerusalem, which is actually the headquarters of this movement called Christianity that had its epicenter there, sources of income was very scarce because Jerusalem was a temple city, and most of the people that were around there, who had become Christians, had very limited source of income. Because in their old way of living and life, they would go to the Jerusalem temple, there would be money changes there, and there will be a lot of trade happening around the sacrifice of animals. But here we have a very peculiar scenario where these people are no more Jewish. They are offering no more animal sacrifices. They have become Christians now, but they have no means of earning anymore. Some had to perhaps even abandon, let's say, some of their animal sacrifice stalls or counters that they perhaps could have had before they became Christians. So Paul is identifying the need of the Jerusalem church, and he is saying, this is something that I'm identifying. This is the authentic place for you to invest in. So there are some churches like that. I remember the church that I used to be in earlier in Mumbai. We were there for 10 years. They supported a list of 15 mission organizations, right? So every time I didn't have to go around searching and running about who I needed to support. If I supported that particular church that I am a part of, I know that every penny that I'm investing would go to these credible 15 organizations that the church had, adopted. And so that's one way. The second is, of course, as I said, as Christians, we need to have discernment because there are many people that, even come up with false appeals and false claims. Especially if you are a very compassionate and an empathetic type and, are very gullible, and you can be swept, okay? We oftentimes get calls, right, to support this and such and such and whatnot. So there's a lot of discernment that is called for. So if you're somebody who doesn't know, start off by giving to your church. And I hope you're all part of churches that have a list of mission organizations or missionaries that they support. Second is have discernment. Third, look for mission organizations that have missionaries, who do not receive regular salaries. Okay, these are faith-based organizations, and so they function on support raising. And YWAM, I think, is one such. Definitely, Campus Crusade for Christ is another one. So there are several missionaries there. There are up to about 1,500, 2,000 in Campus Crusade for Christ in India alone. So there are many people that you can identify and give. Fourth is giving to the world. So I would say first give and see the brothers and sisters within the church and their needs are met. Second, look outside the church and give to other needs that are around. And pray to God for discernment. Ask other elders who have been giving regularly and take counsel, and see that you don't get too carried away, by all of those appeals that come online these days, and there are lots of those. So be prayerful about your giving. I'm sure the Lord will guide you and send people.